It's like things start unfolding in literally movie-like cinematic quality, truly. Hi there, my name is Brittany. Welcome to my channel. I am getting on for a really spur-of-the-minute video. I wasn't really planning on doing this, but I'm a part of a lot of Facebook groups and I see this question all the time and I just wanted to offer a little bit of insight. So if you're someone that's really curious about manifesting and you want to learn how to do it more effectively and with more intention and from a space of really, really deep power, I invite you to keep watching. Okay, so today is going to be a little bit of a story time, and the question that the person asked is, hey, I really want to experience something, and in order to do that, I need support to finance it. I need about $2,000. What sort of rituals or practices have worked for you in the past? This is a really fascinating question for a lot of different reasons. The biggest thing that I want to say right off the bat for anyone that is like, oh my God, those are good questions. The biggest thing that I want to tell you is that if you are too attached to getting the money, you're missing the point. I think that a lot of times whenever we think about manifesting and manifestation, getting what we want, a lot of times it has to do with money, and a lot of times the things that we desire can be material. And I think that sometimes we miss the mark by asking for things instead of asking for what's most aligned for us at that season and that moment in our lives. So if we extend ourselves open and say, I desire to experience this if it is in right alignment with my path, with my soul, with my spirit, with my energy, with my vibration, and if it's not at this time, I'm open for whatever it is that is ready for me in this moment. That is the kind of powerful, really deep intention setting that's going to not only possibly deliver what it is that you believe that you want to manifest, but it could deliver something that's so much more grand. And I'm going to tell a story today about a time that this happened for me. I have already made a video on my wedding manifestation video. The story is so much fun. I love the way that all that panned out, and now that my mom has passed away, I have full trust and faith in knowing that exactly the way that it panned out was meant to be, because my mom passed away less than a year after my wedding, and if that wedding hadn't come to fruition in the synchronistic way that it did, she wouldn't have been able to witness me getting married, and that was like my mom's biggest dream of all time. I found a journal of hers recently and I saw it said like top dreams that I want to experience or something, and it said Brittany getting married, Charity getting married, and dying and going to be with the Lord. Those were her top 3 dreams and wishes that she wanted fulfilled. So that's a testament of my mom's spirituality. Okay, so this story is actually from right after my wedding in May of 2018. It was new moon in Taurus, and the reason that it's important to know the moon phase that was going on in this time is because new moon is a good time to go in. It's a dark moon, this moon, and Taurus rules the second house. In astrology, it would be right down here, and it rules gifts and talents and finances and wealth and abundance and nice things for good things to spawn. And during this time in 2018, I was having financial struggle, like big time financial struggle. I actually sat down with my husband and I said, I don't know what to do. I can't afford to go on like this. And we started talking about me getting like a job. I really acknowledge my privilege. I have been a model for the last 14 years of my life, and I've had very, very few like straight up jobs in that time. I mean, that in itself has been an amazing unfoldment and truly my guidance from God and higher power in the universe, showing me where it is that my path is to unfold. We sat down and we said, okay, cool, so I might have to get a job. And immediately I started praying immediately I started reaching out and saying, what is there that I can do, because I really don't want to get a job if I don't have to. So I told myself, okay, I'm gonna really take this new moon seriously, and I'm going to do some deep ass shadow work with myself and get really clear about what's going on in my life in regards to finances and starting to rectify that. So I have one of my old journals here, and you can see I've got this whole journal session with myself that goes on to here. So this is what usually happens whenever I have an issue that I'm working with the moon phase on. I get really clear about it here, and then I'll do a tarot spread having to do with the issue here. And usually I'll write out my question that I'm doing the tarot spread about, and then I decipher it. So if I don't know exactly what the tarot card correlates with my question with, I will get this book that I have. It's an amazing book. It's called Tarot for Everyday Life, and I'll leave the link for it for anyone who's like brand new to tarot or just getting to know the Smith Rider-Waite deck. So I'll write down what came out and the way that I find that it correlates to my current situation. I concluded it here, and I just wrote, I manifest abundance. And then I was like, you know what? I need to take it one step further. So I did this, and I'm gonna read this to you so that you can really feel into the energy that I brought to this situation, just for some perspective. I said, I manifest abundance. A path is being created for me. All that I seek is present and waiting. I will not allow my light to be dimmed. Divine guidance is always available. I thrive as my body and my being thrives. I connect with others on a deep soul level. I am the creator. I connect with others effortlessly. As I tap the well of my soul, abundance prepares itself for me in many forms. Abundant wealth is waiting. Financial security is within my vortex. I receive divine compensation for my gifts. I am in love with my community. Within every person I meet, I see myself. I attract those seeking growth and change. I co-create my reality with the divine at all moments I choose. And then over here, I wrote, I am open, ready, willing, appreciative, and oh so grateful for the wealth of abundance that is coming to me in the amount of $4,600. Don't ask me why I chose that number. I think it's because it felt bigger than anything that was attainable. I am prepared to get creative in how I will receive this amount. That is the most important part for me. I am prepared to get creative in how I will receive this amount. That's the biggest part right there. Because sometimes whenever I hear people's manifestation qualms, it is almost this setting of intention and this like desire for this specific manifestation, and then they kind of just like wait around, and they like wait around for it to be delivered to them on a silver platter, and that's just not the way that it comes in my experience. When I desire something that I don't have currently in my life, I recognize and I realize that in order for me to receive something that I don't have currently, I need to do something that I don't do normally. I need to get myself out of my own comfort zone, because only in those places outside of your comfort zone does universe have the opportunity to be like, oh look, she's serious. Here's this person. Here's this restaurant to meet at. Here's this person in line at the grocery store who's gonna open up a random conversation that's gonna lead you to where you need to go to receive the manifestation. It's like things start unfolding in literally movie-like cinematic quality. Truly, these have been some of, it's like the last 5 years has literally been this divine unfoldment of synchronicities. I know this feeling so well. It's just this flow state that you're in when you're like,
I'm being guided. Boom, it's out there for me. I'm ready and willing to step out of my comfort zone to do what I need to in order to get this.
And it's that sort of key that I feel like is missing from a lot of present modern day younger. And don't be triggered if you've only been in this for a year or 2 or 3. You're new. You're brand spanking new to the game. Even I'm still new to the game. I'm still awestruck by what happens in my life, and I've been daily devoted to this work so passionately for 5 years now. So just always be open to the fact that you know so little and that there's so much to learn, because it will really bless you. So what happened next after I wrote this, literally after I wrote this, I had an atmosphere job. I live in Las Vegas and I used to atmosphere model a lot. Atmosphere modeling is whenever you are paid by a nightclub to fill space because they want to make their club look super poppin'. I ran into a girlfriend there at the job and I was really vulnerable. I hadn't seen her in a while. We're still friends to this day, and she was like, "What's been going on with you?" And I said, "You know what? I'm having a really hard time because I'm having money issues and I might have to get a job if I don't figure something out. I did this really deep manifestation work before I came here today and I just have so much faith that something is gonna unfold." And she goes, "Wow, that's really wild. Did you know that EDC is this weekend? Why don't you cocktail?" And I was like, EDC, first off, EDC is this weekend? I didn't even know that. And second, I had been a cocktail server at the Marquee VIP Sky Deck. If you've ever been to EDC, the main stage, like the big main stage, right across from that is like this big massive tier of like Marquee, you know, Cosmopolitan here in Las Vegas. Marquee is the big nightclub at Cosmopolitan, and they have an entire VIP section at EDC, and I cocktailed for that once before, but I had no idea that EDC was coming up this weekend, and it's a super coveted position to get hired for EDC as a cocktail waitress. It's one of the most coveted positions that you can get as a cocktail server in Las Vegas. So I was like, no, and every spot is probably full. So she goes, just try, just text the guy and see if there's any spots open. And I'm like, okay, so I text him and he texts me back within 5 minutes. He's like, "Hey, oh my gosh, it's good to hear from you. Yeah, as it happens, we have a spot available." And I was like, no way. By the time that evening was done, I was hired for EDC for the Marquee VIP Sky Deck at EDC 2018. And I absolutely couldn't believe it, because these weekends, you need to understand, these are 16-hour days. They're really, really long days. You're pretty much getting no sleep. And it's just insane. It's a super fun party. It's a super fun weekend. And I did it. Hey friends, so I am here at the Speedway where EDC is. Just got my credentials and I signed something that expressly said I'm not going to make any videos inside of the property. So until the festival goes live, I'm not allowed to do that, but I'll fill you in whenever I can. I'll fill you in whenever I'm allowed, and I'm not gonna risk my job. We're just gonna get orientation and training down today. It's super windy, so I want to keep my hairs tame. But yeah, that's about all that's happening today. Just a few hours before we get started. They have cute little outfits this year. I wore my bedazzled leggings. Got my comfy Nikes. This is gonna be holding my bangs. I did it, and the best part is that when I got my check a few months later, the amount was just over $4,600 after taxes were taken out. I just love this story so much because it's such a potent testimony to the way that manifestation works, because it's not as simple as some people would make it out to be. Like, you don't just get really clear with what it is that you want and then the universe is going to deliver you exactly what you want. Like, it's not like that. In my experience, there are some really key pieces of true vibratory alignment that need to be met in order for anything to manifest, anything worthwhile to manifest, because sometimes stuff can manifest and then it's not what you thought it was going to be at all anyway. So this was my manifestation story. I hope that you found it enlightening and entertaining. If you have had really synchronistic manifestations, I would love to know what they were. Please leave them down below in the comment section. There's like nothing that I love hearing more than other people's manifestation stories. I love reading them just as much as I love experiencing them, because it's really fun to be tapped into this energetic realm that you have access to. And I want to put this in right before the end of my video, is that you need to understand that also when you're setting the intention, also acknowledge the possibility that what it is that you think that you desire, it might not be for you, and it might not be meant for you at this time. So the question is never, dear universe, deliver exactly this for me in this way, in this color, on this day, and in this way, because you're setting yourself up for failure when you set these expectations, because it's like horses having blinders on. Whenever you do that, it has to come in such a specific way. The universe has literally this much space to deliver it to you, and it's probably not gonna come. So if you just go in with your best intention and you say, I'm willing to get out of my comfort zone and do something new, make myself as uncomfortable as it will be amazing to receive this thing, and the whole world is opened up to you, and universe has so much space to work with as far as how it's gonna come into your life and whether or not you're gonna be there to tend that intention, to tend that manifestation, because you can't just plant the seed of intention and then just, you know, wait around for it to germinate and press through the ground. And you've got to make sure that you're planting it at the right depth. You've got to make sure you know what the watering schedule is like. You've got to make sure that weeds and bugs don't eat your stuff. You've got to like do some work to make sure that it comes to fruition healthfully. This is something that I feel so passionate about because I'm so experienced with synchronicities. I just had to get on and make this video right now. So thank you, whoever was in the Your Own Magic podcast Facebook group. I'm super happy to make this video for you. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and push the little bell and the notification symbol so that you are notified whenever new videos go up. Thank you so much, and I will talk to you soon.